Gateway to the West, St. Louis, departure point for the San Francisco-bound Royal Gorge. The transcontinental train that takes you through the Rockies, not around them, and shows you the utmost in scenery per mile. Your ticket on the Royal Gorge permits stopovers at all points en route. Before you travel on to the mountain vastness of the incredible Rockies and the Sierra Nevada, visit a while in St. Louis, where progressive citizens have turned commercial profits into cultural beauties and benefits for the citizen and visitor alike. The scenic transcontinental Royal Gorge train departs daily from the Union Station, the terminal used by all trains entering and leaving St. Louis. This attractive city is a prologue to the travel delights that await you along the route of the Royal Gorge. The pleasures of St. Louis are a vibrant memory as you start your journey from the historic Gateway to the West to the Golden Gate in San Francisco. From St. Louis, through the heart of Missouri and Kansas, and on to Pueblo, Colorado, the Royal Gorge speeds on tracks of the Missouri Pacific lines. Along the broad Missouri River, you travel westward. So many explorers, pioneers, and fur traders use this natural highway toward the setting sun that the state of Missouri is sometimes called Mother of the West. En route at Jefferson City, Missouri, is the state capitol, a structure of native Missouri marble, noted for its fine architecture, murals, and statues. Jefferson City is the center of a diversified agricultural area that produces wheat, corn, apples, and livestock, and features those famous Missouri mules. More than a century ago, Westport Landing was the busiest fur trading post on the western trails. Today, in its place, stands modern Kansas City. Here, too, beauty has been blended with utility. Numerous restful green oases and well-appointed playgrounds intersperse the congested districts. Outlying shopping centers are tastefully arranged and gracefully landscaped. They're as pleasant as they are practical. One of the city's finest buildings and one of the nation's largest railroad terminals is the $6 million Union Station. The Union Station is a reminder that the scenic West is waiting for you, that the Royal Gorge is ready to speed you on via Missouri Pacific lines through the night in quiet, comfortable sleeping cars. Surrounded by the ethereal splendor of a Colorado dawn, you rush onward to arrive at Pueblo, Colorado's second largest city, and rail gateway to the spectacle of Colorado's matchless Rockies. This is the western terminus of the Missouri Pacific lines. At Pueblo, the Denver and Rio Grande Western Railroad takes over your train. But you need not leave your car on the Royal Gorge. It's a through transcontinental train that utilizes the tracks and offers you the combined services and advantages of three great railroads. Drivers surge forward, gathering speed with every turn. A mighty mountain-type locomotive, powered for the Rockies, pulls the Royal Gorge out of Pueblo, Colorado. Straight west toward the mighty Rocky Mountains, the train rushes smoothly on, through fields of crimson tulips, an unexpected delight in this land of surprises. A land where superlatives are inadequate to describe nature's prodigious handiwork. A towering land of peaks and valleys, crags and canyons. 45 miles west of Pueblo, your train glides into the precipitous chasm that gives the train its name, the Royal Gorge, Grand Canyon of the Arkansas River, truly America's best-loved travel wonder. High overhead, you catch your first glimpse of the world's highest bridge, more than 1,000 feet above the river. The highway suspension bridge is a slender ribbon of steel across the narrow strip of sky. At the narrowest spot in the gorge, the canyon walls are only 30 feet apart. Here it was impossible to blast a roadbed out of the perpendicular granite cliffs. The tracks are suspended over the river itself by the famous hanging bridge, its steel trusses solidly embedded in the canyon walls of either side. A scheduled stop at Hanging Bridge gives all passengers an opportunity to alight and marvel at this wonder of nature. You stand but a few feet above the rushing, tumbling Arkansas River, whose sand-laden waters through countless centuries carved this mighty chasm through solid granite. Don't forget your camera. Here's the chance to record the greatest scenic adventure of a lifetime. Everywhere you turn, there's a new, exciting picture. Man's handiwork, too, comes in for its share of attention. An engineering triumph over nature, the hanging bridge never fails to excite interest. You'll board the train again with mixed emotions, reluctant to leave this magnificent spectacle, yet eager for new vistas and new thrills. America's best-loved travel wonder, the Royal Gorge, is truly an exciting introduction to a land of superlative scenic splendor. The upper Arkansas Valley is dominated by the northern end of the jagged snow-capped Sangre de Cristo Range, the Blood of Christ Mountains, so named by Valverde, early Spanish explorer. Onward and upward along the easy water-level grade of the Arkansas, your route soon parallels the trio of collegiate peaks, each soaring skyward more than 14,100 feet. Left to right, Mount Princeton, Mount Yale, and Mount Harvard. An imperial parade of mountain majesty passes in review. On the Continental Divide, America's second and third highest peaks, Mount Elbert and Mount Massive, both higher than 14,400 feet. A final glimpse of Mount Massive and the headwaters of the Arkansas that flows to the far Atlantic Ocean. Then you reach the crest of the nation. This is through the Rockies, not around them. The Denver and Rio Grande Western Railroad pierces the Continental Divide through Tennessee Pass, 10,240 feet above sea level, the highest point on any standard gauge railroad main line in the nation. Only a few moments ago, you were ascending the Atlantic side of the American continent. Now down the Pacific slope, through the canyon of the Eagle River, whose waters soon will join the mighty Colorado on its long journey to the Western Ocean. The colorful canyon of the Eagle River is but one of many you will traverse, each with a distinctive beauty of its own. Through them all, you glide smoothly and swiftly on a highway of steel. Where the silvery Colorado wends its way, the Glenwood Canyon of the Colorado River. Here, the Colorado meanders peacefully between richly colored walls of rock, their beauty heightened by countless evergreens clinging to the precarious slopes. Each turn unfolds a new and thrilling spectacle. The canyon ends abruptly at the junction of the Roaring Fork, where the resort town of Glenwood Springs, center of a vast alpine playground, welcomes you with true Western hospitality. The palatial Colorado Hotel overlooks the renowned Yampa Hot Springs, whose healing mineral waters pour into the world's largest warm water open-air swimming pool. Here, too, is a beach of fine white sand, cradled in the Rockies 1,000 miles from the nearest ocean. Long before white men penetrated the Rockies, the Yampa Hot Springs were well known to the Indians of the region. The waters that leap hot and strong from the depths of the earth maintain a consistent warmth in the Glenwood Springs pool. Here you can swim in midwinter when the surrounding snow-carpeted mountain slopes are transformed into a skier's paradise. Perhaps you'll want to tarry at Crystal River Lodge, a rustic ruby in a matchless setting. The extensive Glenwood Springs region is a delightful year-round vacation land where you can indulge in countless recreational activities or simply relax and rest. Nestled in an aspen forest is another retreat you'll be loath to leave, Aspen, Colorado, a favorite headquarters for fishermen, hunters, and ski enthusiasts. Built in the 80s when Aspen was a lusty silver camp, the old Jerome Hotel has been modernized for your convenience. Stopover privileges available on your Royal Gorge ticket permit you to spend a day, a week, or a whole season in the Glenwood Springs region of Colorado. But sooner or later, the siren song of the spacious West entices you on to more wonders in this enchanted land. Mountain trails become steel rails, and you're westward bound again. Mile after mile, your route parallels the Colorado River, out of the upper canyons and through the fertile Grand Valley, past verdant, peach-bordered lanes. Annually, these orchards in the Palisade region of Colorado produce 1 million bushels of luscious Hale and Alberta peaches. Your window is a magic frame, the picture constantly changing. Make a wish to see something new and different. The speeding Royal Gorge makes your wish come true. Your course is always westward. Whirling wheels hum a lullaby as you race after the retreating sun. A color-splashed Utah dawn finds the Royal Gorge carrying you upward again, this time toward Soldier Summit. Castle Gate, imposing sandstone portal engineered by the Price River, is the gateway to the Wasatch Plateau and Utah's enormous Carbon County coal region. The Rio Grande Railroad's highest Utah elevation is Soldier Summit, crest of the Wasatch Plateau. From Soldier Summit, your course is constantly and rapidly downward, descending the easy grades that bring you into the great Salt Lake Valley, where a century of Mormon industry and thrift have transformed a barren desert into a vast garden. Through the upper Salt Lake Valley, you pursue the path of pioneers. Past glacier-crowned Mount Timpanogos and Utah Lake, source of the River Jordan, which, like its biblical prototype, too, has its Dead Sea, Great Salt Lake. Skirting the Wasatch Range, the Royal Gorge hurries on to Salt Lake City, growing monument to the faith and courage of Mormon pioneers. Air brakes gently slow your train. Alert porters empty passenger-crowded vestibules into the busy Rio Grande station. Commercially and culturally, the lodestone of the West, Salt Lake City, is a living tribute to the wisdom and foresight of its founder, Brigham Young. On a commanding hilltop above the city stands the Utah State Capitol, a magnificent granite symbol of this thriving commonwealth. Salt Air Pavilion, with its Moorish architecture, will entice you to enjoy the recreational pleasure it affords. The novel Putt-Putt Railway works overtime, carrying eager sightseers and swimmers to the bathing pier far out in Great Salt Lake. You need not know how to swim to experience the buoyant sensation of tossing about on the opaline green waters of this weird lake that has no outlet. Believe it or not, you float like a cork. It's impossible to sink due to the high salt content of this briny inland ocean. Its waters are 7 times heavier than the Atlantic or Pacific and contains over 22% salt. So salty that 1 gallon of water will boil down to a quart of fine, pure salt. Swimmers are refreshed and invigorated, their bodies caked with a thin crust of fine salt. At Salt Lake City, the Denver and Rio Grande Western Railroad gives your Royal Gorge train to the Western Pacific Railroad. Once again, you change railroads, but you don't change trains. You need not leave your seat on the Royal Gorge. The Western Pacific Railroad pulls the Royal Gorge along the south shore of Great Salt Lake, across the Bonneville Salt Flats and the Nevada Desert. Crosses California's Sierra Nevada through Beckworth Pass and descends the canyon of the Feather River, El Rio de las Plumas, third largest river in California. At one point, highway and railroad crisscross the river in this enchanting canyon that reveals fresh eye appeal at every turn. The Royal Gorge furnishes a traveling ringside seat through 120 miles of Feather River Canyon. In the canyon is a favorite resort hotel, the Feather River Inn, superbly situated in a color-splashed wilderness. If you choose a stop over here, you can while away pleasant hours in a sparkling emerald pool. Or perhaps you'll want to straddle a good horse and ride along tree-bordered lanes. Forests of evergreen are interspersed with flower-strewn meadows, possessing a beauty unmatched by formal gardens. Huge bouquets are yours for the picking. Across the canyon, the Royal Gorge thunders by, a reminder that you have a date with the Golden Gate. So don't tarry too long among the wildflowers. Back on board the train again, paralleling the Feather River toward its confluence with the Sacramento. At Williams Loop, in Feather River Canyon, the Western Pacific Railroad, to maintain a ruling grade of only 1%, doubles back beneath itself in a complete circle 9/10 of a mile in circumference. Your window again frames a constantly changing landscape while you relax, rest, and watch the west go by. Pleasant, lazy hours in the Royal Gorge lounge car remind you that no other form of cross-country transportation provides the spacious comfort, gracious good fellowship, and freedom to move about that you enjoy when you travel by train. Feather River Canyon lies behind you now, and it's down the trail of the Overland Mail to the historic western terminus of the Pony Express, Old Sacramento, present capital of California. The skyline of Oakland, California is most impressive when seen across Lake Merritt, the only tidal lake in the United States lying in the heart of a city. Including Lake Merritt Park, Oakland provides more than 100 parks and playgrounds for your enjoyment. The Royal Gorge takes you directly to the ferry building in Oakland. Your train ticket includes passage across San Francisco Bay. The ferry trip affords an impressive view of the massive Bay Bridge, 8 1/4 mile connecting link between Oakland and San Francisco, the longest bridge ever built over navigable water. Across the finest harbor in the vast Pacific, you approach the romantic heart of El Dorado, the Golden Land, magnificent San Francisco, toast of every globetrotter as one of our planet's truly cosmopolitan cities. World traveler Viscount Bryce proclaimed that in Europe, only Constantinople and Gibraltar combine an equally perfect landscape with an equally imperial position. You too will feel the surging spirit, the indomitable will of the men who created this crossroads of the earth. On the San Francisco waterfront, you'll spend carefree hours in the salty, seagoing atmosphere of Fisherman's Wharf. Harbor of many fishing boats, it presents a picturesque array of gaily painted craft. The fame of San Francisco's Chinatown reaches around the world, an exotic bit of the Orient transplanted to the New World. From the gateway to the west, St. Louis, to the Golden Gate, San Francisco, The only train to traverse this glorious scenic route is the Royal Gorge, the train that goes through the Rockies, not around them.